So guys, welcome to our channel once again. In today's video we have here these 18 questions to answer on the topic basic ecological concepts. So guys, this video will be all about ecological components. So ensure to stay till the end of this video. Also, if at any point here you feel you want to answer any question before we provide the answer, you can feel free to pause this video and try out to see if you can get the answer to the question even before we provide the answer thereafter. So guys, let's go ahead and start with the first question here. It says, in an interspecies competition, the less successful species usually A. become eliminated, B. reproduce faster, C. become more active, D. become dormant. So guys, the answer to this question is option A. They become eliminated. So let's go ahead and check out the next question. Question number 2 here. It says, ecology simply means the study of A. interrelationship between plants and animals, B. interrelationship between organism and environment, C. several species of plants and animals, D. the properties of a habitat. So guys, the answer to this question is option B here, interrelationship between the organisms and their environment. So that's it. Let's go ahead and check out the next question. Question number 3 here. It says, a community is best defined as A. living things in a habitat interacting with the non-living parts of the environment, B. the individuals of a particular group living together in an area and sharing the same resources, C. the total number of individuals of one species of organisms living in a particular habitat, and D. population of different species living together and interacting with each other in one habitat. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here, the populations of different species living together and interacting with each other in one habitat. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 4 here. It says, which of the following organisms are the producers in an aquatic habitat? A. zooplanktons, B. benthos, C. nectons, and D. phytoplanktons. So guys, the answer to this question is option D here, and that's the phytoplanktons. The phytoplanktons are the producers in the aquatic habitats. They are also known as the autotrophs, and they are organisms that can produce their own food. Actually, the phytoplanktons are microscopic plants that live in these aquatic habitats, especially in the oceans and the rest. So they are actually primary producers since they are of plant species. But guys, also take notes, they are microscopic plants. So that's it for that. Let's go ahead and look at the next question. Question number 5 here. It says, which of the following features could be used to determine the growth of a seedling? A. length of flowers, B. number of flowers, C. length of radicle, and D. number of leaves. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, and that's the length of radicle. The length of radicle is the factor that is used in the determination of the growth rate of a seedling. So that's it for that question. Let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 8. Question number 6 here. It says, the following are abiotic components of the ecosystem except A. wind, B. topography, C. bacteria, D. water. So guys, when we talk about abiotic system, we are talking about the abiotic components. We are talking about the non-living components of the environment. So guys, all the options here given here are the non-living components of the environment except option C, that's the bacteria. Actually, you know that bacteria is a living organism. So guys, that's the answer to this question, option C. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 7. It says, which of the following materials is not required for insect collection in an ecological field trip? We have A. butter, B. jar containing alcohol, C. Sikai disc, and D. spreading board. So guys, the answer to this question is option C here, the Sakai disc. So the Sakai disc is actually not required for insect collection in field trip. Actually, the Sakai disc is a circular disc used to measure water transparency in oceans and lakes. So the other ones here listed here, that's the putter, the spreading board, the jar containing alcohol, all tools that are commonly used in insect collection. But guys, the Sakai disc, like I said earlier on, is not for insect collection. Rather, it's to measure the water transparency in oceans and lakes. So that's it for that question, guys. Let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 8. It says, in a particular habitat, the role of an organism is referred to as its A, level, B, space, C, biomass, and D, niche. So guys, the answer to this question is option D, and that's the niche. Actually, in ecology, the term niche refers to the role or function of an organism within its ecosystem. So this will include its interaction with other organisms, its diet, its behavior, and the physical condition that's necessary for its survival, and so on. So guys, that's it for that question. So option D is the answer here. So let's consider the next question. Question number 9. It says, ecology simply means the study of A, the interrelationship between plants and animals, B, the interrelationship between organisms and their environment, C, particular species of animals and plants, and D, the properties of a habitat. So guys, we've answered this question before now, and the answer to this question is the interrelationship between organisms and their environment. So here it is the option B. So let's consider the next question. Question number 10. It says, which of the following organisms is not considered as a parasitic plant? A, we have Doda, B, Mistletoe, C, Casita, and D, Rhizopus. So guys, Rhizopus is actually not a parasitic plant. So guys, without having to spend much time on this question, we already know that the answer to this question is option D. Rhizopus is not a parasitic plant. So let's go ahead and look at the next question. Question number 11. It says, the following are abiotic components of an ecosystem except A, temperature, B, oxygen, C, soil, D, bacteria. So we've answered this question before now, and the answer is option D, bacteria. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 12. It says, which of the following natural resources is most readily available to all organisms? We have oil, air, food, and water. So guys, the answer to this question will be option B here, and that's A. The most readily available natural resource to all living organisms is A. So that's it for that question. Let's consider the next question. Question number 13. It says, which of the following is a biotic component of an ecosystem? We have light, soil, fungi, and rainfall. So guys, you see that all these components are all abiotic. That's the non-living components, whereas only fungi seems to be the living component here, which is biotic. So the only living component here, which is the biotic component, is the fungi. So that's it for that question. Let's go ahead and consider question number 14. It says here, the earthworm is important because A, each of its segments has shitter, B, it aerates the soil, C, its body is always moist, and D, it has a clitoris. So guys, the answer to this question is option B here. The actual answer here, that actually shows the importance of the earthworm is option B here, which is it aerates the soil. So due to the fact that the earthworm will always burrow through the soil, it creates tunnels that allows air to penetrate the soil. So that's what we mean by that. And guys, option B here is the correct answer to this question. So let's go ahead and consider the next question. Question number 15. It says the major mineral present in the shell of mollusk is A, calcium, B, copper, C, sodium, D, iron. So guys, the answer to this question is option A, and that's the calcium. Calcium is the major mineral that's present in the shell of mollusk. So let's look at the next question. Question number 16 here. It says the term community is defined as A, the consumers and producers living in a habitat, B, animals which naturally derive benefits from their association, C, the different groups of animals and plants in the same area and interacting with each other, and D, living organisms interacting with physical factors of an environment. So guys, the answer to this question here is option C. I think we've also answered this question before now. So that's option C here, the different groups of plants and animals in the same area and interacting with each other. So let's consider the next question. Question number 17. It says, in ecology, a community refers to A, the dominant species in a habitat, B, groups of different organisms living in a habitat, C, existing species in an abandoned farmland, D, a number of individuals in a given species. So guys, the answer to this question is option B, groups of different organisms living in a habitat. So let's consider the next and the last question, guys. That's the end, and that's question number 18 here. It says ecology is best defined as a study of, okay guys, we've also answered this question before now, and here the answer will be option D, the interrelationship between living organisms and the environment. So guys, this is where we end this video for today. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not a subscriber. Also, if you have any specific question regarding this video, you can drop your question in the comment section below and we'll ensure to give you a response. So guys, we also want to use this opportunity to encourage you to join our YouTube channel community. That's all for this video. Thank you once again.